Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Thank you for joining me again, or if you're new, thank you for joining me. If you are new, you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that a great deal. We're trying to build the channel up. Don't cost you anything. Hit the subscribe button. Like the video. I hope you like the video anyway. And yeah, let's get into it then. Okay, so Gervonta Tank Davis defeats ISAAC Pitbull CRUZ over 12 rounds, wins a unanimous decision. Two lots of 115, 113 and 112, 116, 112 was the third card. Come to the scores later on. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about the fight. Pitbull CRUZ, I think he earned his right to fight Davis. Earlier this year he beat Francisco Vargas over 10 rounds, unanimous decision. That was in June, and then prior to that he beat an undefeated 24-0 Jose Matias Romero. He beat him on a 12-round unanimous decision. So he earned his right to fight Tank, and he was a worthy contender, and sure enough, so it proved. He prior to this fight, Tank had a knockout streak of 17 knockouts, and he didn't come close to stopping CRUZ. He didn't even hurt CRUZ. Okay. In the first round, out comes CRUZ, meaning business. Stylistically, he kind of reminded me of a cross between Mike Tyson and Dwight Muhammad Qawi. He's a smaller fighter. He looked at least one division smaller than Davis, but he made himself even smaller. So he was this compact, little, tight-guarded Pitbull. Yeah, Pitbull. He's got the right nickname. And he came straight at Tank, and then within the first 10, 15 seconds, he threw, I can't remember what it was. Was it a big left hook? No, it was a big left hook, I think. Tank retreated to the ropes. He missed with the hook, but it was a statement. I'm here, and I'm coming for you. And he was very, very aggressive in the first round. I gave CRUZ the first round. He was working the body quite well. Definitely, it's a shorter man, crouching, tight guard. The body was, he wanted the body. And he was landing some good individual punches to the body. Tank, in the second round, still trying to find his range, still trying to find his rhythm. I gave the second round to CRUZ. But then in the third, Davis definitely found that rhythm. He was judging the distance very well. Southpaw, of course, Tank Davis is, so he's popping with the southpaw jab. From rounds 3 to 7, I gave them all to Tank Davis. There wasn't a lot in it. Neither man was landing much of any real substance, but I just felt Davis was edging the rounds. He was doing that a little bit more, and CRUZ had, between the third and the seventh, had the air of someone who was kind of following him around, looking for opportunities, but not really getting them. So after 7, I had Davis 5-2 up. In the 8th round, though, CRUZ came to life. He won that round for me. That made it, 5-3. I gave the next one, I think, to Tank. So that's 6-3. The 10th round I gave to CRUZ. So he needed to win the last 2 rounds to get a draw, CRUZ did. And I thought he won the 11th and lost the 12th. Now, again, there wasn't much of any substance being landed by either man. In the case of Davis, he was firing a lot of jabs, worked the uppercut quite well in patches, straightening up the much shorter man. But a lot of his punches were being taken on the gloves. And they're obviously not scoring punches. In the case of CRUZ, as I mentioned, good body work, good individual body punches, but when he came over the top aiming for the head, it was hit and miss. So neither man really found any consistency with scoring punches. And that's what you judge a fight on, which is scoring punches. But just for generalship, the overall impression I got was that Tank just did a little bit more. He seemed to hurt his hand as well, Tank, his left hand. And in the third round, in the 12th round, it was all jab. It was all southpaw jab. he didn't seem to want to use that left hand at all. I don't know whether it's damaged or not, but like I said, I gave the 12th round to Cruz. To me, it was a very gallant effort by Cruz, but not quite enough. But yeah, he can come again. He's only 23. He looks a lot older. He looks 10 years older, but he's only 23. In the case of Tank, okay, he's lost his 17 streak knockout, whatever it is, his knockout streak, but I don't think it matters. I think this was a good 12 rounds for him, and it proved that he can take a good pressure fighter, good quality pressure fighter, and generally control him. And probably if they fought again, this is the type of fight where if they fought again, I would expect Tank Davis to handle him a lot easier. So I had it 115, 130, and I agreed with two of the judges. Now, this fight took place in the early hours of Monday morning if you're in the UK. So I didn't watch it live because I had work, and I went to work, came home from work, didn't know the result, found it on Daily Motion, watched it, scored it as I was watching it. And then I went online, and all I'm seeing is, well, not all I'm seeing, but a lot of what I'm seeing is, oh, Cruz was robbed. Davis didn't win that fight. No, this is a total robbery. This is some sort of PBC skulduggery going on. No way did Tank win that fight. Look, if you say to me, I had Cruz ahead 115, 130, or if you say maybe I thought it was a draw, I don't necessarily agree with that, but perhaps you can make a convincing argument for it. I'm always willing to debate. I'm always willing to listen. But if you think that fight was a robbery, you ain't been watching boxing for very long. If you want robberies, go and watch Sven Otker's career. Actually, I wouldn't wish watching Sven Otker's career on my worst enemy because he was so unbelievably dull. But he had 3, 4, maybe even 5 fights where it was clear he'd lost that fight. The Robin Reed one is the one that sticks in my mind because Robin Reed must have won at least 10 of those rounds and lost the decision. This fight is in no way comparable to a flat-out robbery. Earlier in the year, Campbell Hatton was given a gift decision against a guy whose name escapes me. I think it was a little Spanish kid with 2 wins and 4 defeats, I think he had. He came in, he beat Hatton. I mean, I think, was it a 6-rounder or a 4-rounder? I think it was a 6-rounder. But he won at least 4 or 5 of those rounds. And of course, the referee gave it by a point to Hatton. No way on earth did Hatton win that fight. So robberies do exist, but this was not a robbery. Close fights are not robberies. And this was, I thought Davis won. I don't think it was particularly comfortably, but he won. And if you think Cruz won, okay, make the argument. But this was not in any shape or form a robbery. And I think all this bullshit about, I don't like PBC as a model. I don't like it. I don't like the closed shop element. I don't like all this, you've got to be on our side of the road, all that crap. I don't like the fact that the fighters only fight, in some cases, once a year. I mean, look at Gary Russell Jr. A lot of the heavyweights seem inactive. I don't think it. I wouldn't want to be a PBC fighter unless I wanted to make money. I mean, apparently they're paid well, but if you want to build a legacy, I don't think PBC is the place to be. And the way they froze out Bud Crawford really rankles with me a lot because that guy deserved to fight Spence. He deserved to fight all their guys. The only one that had the balls to step up to the plate, as we recently saw, was Sean Porter. All credit to Sean for doing that. But he's a warrior. He's fought everyone. He's never ducked anyone. You cannot say the same for the other PBC fighters. But nevertheless, when you score in a fight, you park all identity, or all identity politics, if that's what you want to call it. You park all your dislikes and you might even use the word prejudices at the door, and you score the fight as you've seen it. If you've got one guy in one corner who's a murderer and the other guy in the other corner is a nonce, you might dislike both those people. You might think they belong in prison. But when you score in a fight, it's scoring a fight. You know what I mean? You just score it on punches and so on. Leave your prejudices at the door if you're scoring a fight. It's called being objective. And sadly, in this day and age, a lot of people who purport to be boxing fans don't seem to have the slightest idea of how to be objective. So yeah, I don't think it was a robbery. I think Davis won it. You may disagree, that's fine. But yeah, It was, but Cruz can come again. He's only 23. Good fighter, Cruz. Good little pressure fighter. I like his style. Very compact. Needs to throw more punches though. Needs to quicken up his feet a bit and throw more punches. His body punches were good, but it looked to me like Davis was just a bit too big for him as well. I think the size difference did matter. What did you think of the fight? Let me know. Leave your comments below. You may agree or disagree. I don't mind. You know, we can talk civilly. I don't mind. But leave your comments below. Thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate your time. If you could subscribe to the video, I'd appreciate that. And you take care of yourselves, and we will speak soon. Bye bye.